Hello again, Grades Lake Central students. Mr. Goldman back from the counseling department. Day number 2 of our school spotlight series. Had a lot of fun yesterday and today joined by some special guests from the University of Illinois at Chicago, which is again in the Windy City, not too far, just about 50 miles from Grades Lake Central High School, which depending on traffic could mean an hour, could mean 3, but there is very train accessible. So if you need to get down to the city, always a good option for our students. UIC is about 22,000 undergrads, so it is a large school environment. Their most popular majors include business, biology, engineering, the health professions, and psychology. One of the areas that's most appealing to UIC students is their guaranteed professional program. So just from their website, the GPPA initiative allows limited number of students to be admitted to guaranteed graduate level programs, areas like law, dentistry, medicine, which essentially means you come in as a freshman, and if you maintain a certain GPA and performance, you have a seat in those very selective programs later on after your undergraduate. So it's a highly sought after program and an excellent one to consider if you're looking into those fields. That being said, we want to hear from our guests who are all UIC alums. We're going to have them introduce themselves and tell them a little about themselves. So we'll start with my colleague in the counseling department, Ms. Casillas. So Ms. Casillas, can you just tell us who you are, what your major was at UIC, and any organizations that you belong to?
All right, so my name is Genesis Casillas. When I was at UIC, my name was Genesis Rivera, so I've gotten married since then. I was on campus from 1994 to 98, so a lot has changed since then on campus. I didn't belong to any organizations on campus. I was working off campus at a few different things. My major there was psychology with a minor in sociology. They have some really great research programs on campus, so that was a big draw for me.
Thanks for sharing, Ms. Casillas. How about you, Ms. Decker?
So I graduated, or I went to UIC from 1994 to 1999. I majored in Spanish and secondary education. The only programs that I was in the Honors College, which actually was nice because I got to tutor, and also when I needed help with some courses, I also was able to get tutored. Other than that, I wasn't in any other organizations, but I had a great experience there. I'm still friends with almost all of my friends that I met at UIC, and it was just a wonderful community to be a part of.
Great, thanks. And I appreciate you bringing up the Honors College because there are some direct benefits from being a member of an Honors College. I know where I attended school, one was you got early registration. So when you're selecting classes, sometimes the classes you need fill up fairly quickly, and being a member of the Honors College, you could register a week early. So that was a great benefit to consider for students. Mr. Barry, looks like you brought a friend with us today. Who's that with us?
So this is the top Mercedes head. Just here for moral support.
Excellent.
Jeff Barry here, English at Grades Lake Central. I went to UIC from 2002 to 2006. Let's see, I was in the Honors College for 1 year, and then I stopped. I won't really get into that. Let's see, organizations. I worked in the Writing Center for a year or two. Aside from that, I was just really busy with the student teaching and then working a job as well. So it's pretty hard between balancing classes, student teaching, and the commute to get involved in other things.
Great, thanks, Sharon. Mr. Barry, it's a little bit hard to hear you. I don't know if you can adjust your microphone, but that's much better. So thinking back, I know it's for many of us almost 20 years or more so when we had to make that decision and we had options in front of us if we wanted to start at a 2-year school or go get 4-year school, stay closer to home or not. Ms. Casillas, what made you choose UIC?
So I had an uncle who was attending UIC back in the 70s, and he stopped going to school his last semester right before graduation because he was married and he was just about to have a child. So he always talked about his great memories there. He played baseball there. And he just talked about how great UIC was. And my senior year, he went back and finished his last semester at UIC to get his degree. So when I was choosing schools, I just kept thinking, like, wow, he just talked about how great UIC was. And I went to do a campus tour, and I just felt like I was at home. And it was so crazy because you just get on campus, and back in the 90s, it was just concrete and gray and dark. I'm like, this is great. This is where I need to be. And I actually ran into my uncle on campus of such a huge campus. I ran into him right in front of the bookstore. He had no idea I was going to be there. I didn't even know he was taking classes right that day. And I just thought, you know what, this is meant to be. I needed to be here today. So I applied. I applied to a few different schools, and I thought, you know what, just coming back to this place, that's where I needed to be. And I just so happened to meet my husband on campus, and it just kind of it solidified that's where I needed to be. And next month it'll be 24 years that we've been married, so I guess it worked out.
Well, it's exciting with a daughter that's a high school freshman. She might be heading down that path in a few years. So
she told me she's not going to go there. We already took her on a college visit. She doesn't want to go there. She wants to go somewhere warm.
Makes sense. Ms. Decker, I know you grew up not too far outside of the area of Grays Lake as well. What brought you to UIC?
Well, I definitely like the proximity to my family because I'm very close with my family. So it's very easy for me to come home on the weekends. And I worked also on the weekends as well, near my parents. But I think for me, after I was visiting the schools that I wanted to go to, I felt extremely comfortable there. I love Chicago. I was born in Chicago. It just made me feel excited. Like I said, I liked the atmosphere. And I met people right away. Even my first year, I ran into people from my high school that I didn't even know was going there. So it was really nice. I am so happy with my decision. I truly will tell people that going to college those years were some of the best years of my entire life. I have such great memories. So.
That's great. Mr. Berry, did you find the decision a pretty easy one to make as well?
Well, first, let's start with the mic check. Is this any better?
It's a little bit,
Still,
yeah, a little bit choppy.
still hard. Okay. Let me see what I can do here.
That's better.
Any ideas? This is okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I knew that I wanted to do a city school, and I didn't want to do a small arts school. So my choices were Loyola, DePaul, University of Illinois, Chicago, because I was not going to make University of Chicago. And so between those three, I just made a really pragmatic decision. The tuition was just much more affordable, and I wanted to walk away with less debt. So that and the West Loop location for me made it a pretty good choice, pretty obvious choice.
Yeah, I think it's a good point to bring up costs. It has to weigh heavily on our decisions when looking at 4 years or more. It's just very expensive right now. So whether it's an individual choice as a high school senior making that decision or really a family discussion, it's critical at this point. Ms. Decker, you mentioned the word memories. I'm just curious. We all have very fond memories of our time in college. And Ms. Casillas, do any stand out from you at UIC?
We spent a lot of time in a place called the Circle Center. It was the hangout. It's changed a lot now since the 90s, but that was the place to be when you weren't in class. And if you lived on campus, at least on that side of campus, there was a place called the Atrium. You can meet with your friends and hang out and eat stuff. There was like a Taco Bell there. So just hanging out with friends. My best friends still that I talked to, that I officiated one of their weddings actually this past winter break. That's where we would hang out, and just knowing that I could, get out of class and know that my friends were going to be right there. That's something that I don't think I'll ever forget. I was actually just looking through some photos, and it just made me laugh. Like, I've known these people for over 25 years now. I think some of the greatest things too is just trying to get around campus, in the winter. I don't know if you guys remember, there had been a couple great snowstorms back in those days, trying to walk around campus, and I don't think they ever canceled class. So that was always interesting. Specifically, I remember there was a Fish concert on campus. Louis Farrakhan was on campus when I was in school one year. Some very interesting things happened while I was there.
Yeah, I think going to college in a major city allows you to attract a wide variety of guest speakers and musicians, so that's really cool. Ms. Decker, any favorite memories for you?
One of my most favorite memories is going up the escalator to go to Circle Center and running into two girls that are now, I'm still very, very close with. I think I've been to every single event or party that they have had, and they have been for me as well. And we've even Zoomed recently. So yeah, I remember us going up and I'm like, oh, are you guys going to dinner? And they're like, yeah, because I didn't have any friends. And that started like that day started like a beautiful like friendship. I think the other thing that kind of sticks out for me is, I don't really know how it happened, but I was in this literature class, Spanish literature class, and I was having trouble with this particular piece of literature, which I can't remember what it was. And this assistant professor from Chile helped me with the story, understand it. And it was nice because I just remember we're sitting on the grass under a tree, and it was really sunny, and just so nice to just see that people were so supportive, because I think it's rare to have someone take the time outside of their day to, actually sit outside and like help you with a piece of literature. So yeah, that was, other than that, I just think like, honestly, I just have very positive memories, not too many negative. And I felt that everyone there was very helpful.
Yeah, it sounds like a very supportive environment. Mr. Berry, you were looking at city schools kind of all along. What are your favorite memories of UIC?
Yeah, so UIC specifically, I lived on the west side of campus 1 year, but I remember going to a lot of Blackhawks games. And back then, when I was in school, Blackhawks were not the team that they are today. So like $7, they were like begging students to go. So I remember going to those games with my friends. But I also just remember, like, I was a suburbs kid before I went to school in the city, so it was just fun to be in a different environment. I remember taking the CTA, the L into downtown and going to the art museum and just, being in the city and liking it. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I appreciate hearing all the stories, and it sounds like you guys have very positive memories about your time in college, and it does seem hard to imagine for many of us. It's over 15, 20 years ago. It certainly goes by quickly. We end these videos with something we call cram session, which are just some short questions, kind of fun in nature to get your feedback. So we're going to go in a round robin style. So Ms. Casillas, who would be the GCHS staff member that would keep you up laughing all night as a roommate?
As a roommate? Oh, geez. I don't know. I can't think. I don't know. We never leave our office. Karen McGee.
That's where I thought you'd answer that. Ms. Decker, did you have over or under 3 naps per week while you were in college?
Probably over. Yeah.
Understandable.
Definitely.
Mr. Berry, what was your favorite pizza restaurant near campus, and are you a deep dish guy or thin crust?
There was a Giordano's just pretty close to campus, and we would mostly do thin crust. Yeah.
Very good. Ms. Casillas, what was your go-to snack while up studying late?
Oh, geez. I would say probably anything you could find like in the store. They had like donuts in the cafeteria and potato wedges in the cafeteria. If you could sneak out like the Subway sandwiches and stuff and throw it in a mini fridge that was under your bed, then anything that can stick in the fridge.
Very good. Miss Decker, what was a museum that you enjoyed visiting while being at a city school?
I think the Art Institute,
Awesome.
for sure.
Mr. Berry, how about a unique or favorite class you took while at UIC?
I took some great film classes. They were part of the English department, but those classes always made me kind of appreciate film or made me appreciate film in a new way.
Very good. All right, just a couple more to go. Miss Casillas, when offered free t-shirts to fill out a credit card application, walk away or they helped fill your closet?
Oh man, helped fill my closet. At one point, I think I had enough to make a pillow. So I definitely had a few of those.
That's great. Miss Decker, better reason to go home on the weekend. You're tired of dorm food or you need to do laundry?
I need to do laundry, for sure.
Understandable. And then finally, Mr. Berry, the luxury you prefer, AC in the dorm room or hot water in the shower?
Oh man, hot water in the shower.
Well, thanks for playing along. Definitely enjoy hearing the conversation, and again, exciting to see all your passion for UIC. So to all you Grays Lake Central students, definitely if you're looking at city school is a place to consider. And hope you guys are all staying safe.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Take care.
Thanks everyone.